So why is it so important for employees and employers to address work stress before it escalates?
If you're not managing your stress at work, you're at the risk of developing burnout and other mental issues like depression and anxiety. So I think the individual part is very clear, but which is not very discussed and maybe not very clear to companies is that this has a huge impact as well on the business. So the costs add up quickly in several ways. When people are burned out, they're less productive. So stressed employees have a hard time focusing and are less motivated, and this starts being stressed out. And of course, like when you're burned out, this is like a constant state, but already stressed out impacts a lot on how we focus, on how we concentrate. I'll bring a little bit of neuroscience in here again. Our brain in stress mode is like survival, which is surviving. So we're very sensitive to negative things, to problems, and we are bad in some more complex executive functions like planning, decision making, organization, and it happens from time to time. But when this is a constant state, the company definitely will feel that. So people might be at work, but they're not getting much done in a state of stress. When employees get too stressed, they often quit as well. So we as a company are losing good people when when they're not able to handle stress at work, when the workplace maybe is not able to offer a stress-free or a healthy environment. And there are also higher costs, health costs because of health problems. Stress can have a lot of negative impact on your physical health as well, back pains, stomach issues, all the wide range of physical problems can have stress as the main cause, which means higher healthcare and insurance costs for the company directly measurable here. And at the end, stressed people are not able to create a healthy culture. The company culture is not very, very positive.
For sure. And I think it always stems from just a good company culture that really kind of sets the tone. What are some practical ways employees can deal with stress at work?
Nice question as well. I love that. That's very, very clinical, psychological now. And I love to break those things into practical ways which we can incorporate in our daily life. So I think one important thing, we've talked about boundaries, setting boundaries, making a clear separation between your personal life, your professional life. But what can I, as an individual, as a person, do in order to handle better this stress and not getting into this chronic state of alertness? I think that the first thing is kind of a mindset shift. It's separating my worth, my value from my work. Let me explain it a little bit further. Burnout is never possible without a huge engagement in your work. If you're not committed to your work, if you're not engaged, you're not at risk of burning out. So at the beginning, we have here highly motivated, engaged, committed people who are losing it, who are just going into it deeper and deeper and find themselves dried up. So this happens more often when we confound our value with what we produce, with what you deliver, with what you are as a professional, with your function, with your with your role in the company. it's important to remember here that your value as a person is inherent and is not defined by your title, by your salary, or by your latest performance review. That's a part of you, but it's not you. I think when we can separate that, we can create a healthier commitment. We are commitment, but it's not everything in our life. If a project fails, it does not mean that you are a failure.
Yeah.
It's so important to actively remind yourself of this and create this emotional buffer. I call it like that.
Like, you are not your job, essentially.
Exactly. You are not your job. Another point is diversify your identity portfolio. Again, like, you're not your work, you're much more than your work. So I recommend to actively invest time and energy in your other roles. You're not just the professional. You're a friend as well. You're a partner as well. You're a parent, maybe. You might be an artist. You might be an athlete. You might be a volunteer, a musician, a gardener. Whatever you're doing besides work is important too. So we should invest on that as well. And this will, again, helps us to not overcommit and reach the exhaustion level of burnout. What is your other role, Amarita? I'm curious now. What are you besides professional?
You know, I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I am. I guess, you know, I've been taking up pottery classes.
You're an artist as well.
I guess I'm an artist. I found that so therapeutic because it's like the one time, or not the one time, but it's like that rare time when I put my phone down and I actually have to like use my hands to build something from scratch. And I just find that really therapeutic, and I could just focus on creating that one thing. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think the last point has to do with what you asked me initially, creating fire breaks. I noted down, I wrote down that one. And I imagined like a forest. When you burned out, like the whole, or when you burn on, the whole forest is burning. What do experts preventing those forest fire, bushfires? They creating fire breaks. So they creating like spaces where stress cannot pass on, or where the fire cannot pass on to the next forest. So I think it's about establishing non-negotiable things like end of your workday, mute work notifications, block your lunch time in order to have your lunch at peace and not during a meeting. I know there are always exceptions, but normality should be that. Also, like, not negotiate your workout routine, maybe your mornings, slow mornings, whatever it is, which helps you restore and energize, is not a luxury. It's the basic in order to maintain you healthy and productive. So it's not like, a lot of us feel guilty when we're not online, when we're not producing. And I had to learn that by myself a lot as well. But like, recovering, having this time to just like relax is part of working. So recovery is part of your work. I think that is a shift we have also to do in our minds.
So true. And I love that analogy around fire breaks as well. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, lunch break as a fire break in my agenda. Well,